Don't be so quick to throw away your peace lily just because it is wilted and has yellow leaves. Many people, when they see a peace lily in this condition, will think that the plant cannot recover and choose to throw it away. But today, I will bring this plant home and show you step by step how to treat, repot, and care for it to help the plant recover. Starting from a wilted peace lily that has almost completely lost its vitality, we will try to turn it into a lush, full plant that can produce beautiful white flowers again. What makes this method special is that I only use simple, familiar ingredients that are easy to find at home. If you also love growing plants, especially the elegant beauty of the peace lily, follow the video until the end and let's see the results together. And don't forget to subscribe to the Wonder Garden channel so you don't miss the next useful plant care and recovery tips. For peace lilies that are wilted like this, one of the most common causes is underwatering. When the growing medium becomes too dry, the leaves quickly lose their firmness and begin to droop. However, before treating the plant, you should also check the moisture level of the soil and the condition of the roots, because overwatering and root rot can also cause a peace lily to wilt, with symptoms that look quite similar. Today I will prepare a simple organic solution to care for the plant. The ingredient I am using is tea bags, which are very familiar. Today I have some jasmine tea available, so I will make use of it. If you do not have jasmine tea, don't worry. Leave a comment below telling me what type of tea you have, and I will help you determine whether that type of tea is suitable for use on a peace lily. I will use 3 tea bags and place them into a clean glass. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language, comment below, and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. Then, add approximately 500 milliliters of hot water. The hot water will help extract soluble compounds from the tea leaves into the water. Tea contains small amounts of potassium, nitrogen, and organic compounds. However, we will use this solution moderately rather than completely replacing the fertilizer the plant needs. Now, I will cover the glass and let the tea steep until the water has completely cooled before moving on to the next step. Next, the ingredient I will use is rice powder. Rice powder primarily contains starch, along with small amounts of B vitamins and minerals such as phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium. I will add approximately 1 teaspoon of rice powder to another clean glass. Then add approximately 300 milliliters of hot water and stir thoroughly. Now, I will stir thoroughly, cover the container, and wait for the solution to cool completely before combining it with the next ingredient. When used in an appropriate amount, we can utilize this solution as a mild source of organic supplementation during plant care. After approximately 3 hours, once both solutions have completely cooled, I will filter them. First, remove the tea bags. For the rice powder solution, I will also filter it carefully to remove the powder and any undissolved residue, keeping only the liquid. Now, I will combine the two solutions and stir thoroughly. When combined, the tea water provides small amounts of potassium, nitrogen, and organic compounds, while the rice flour water primarily provides dissolved carbohydrates along with small amounts of B vitamins and minerals. Now, to make this organic solution safer for the plant, I will take approximately 300 milliliters of the concentrated solution then dilute it with 1.5 liters of clean water and stir thoroughly. Diluting the solution helps reduce the concentration of organic compounds, limits residue buildup in the growing medium, and makes the amount used easier to control. For the remaining solution, I will pour it into a clean bottle with a lid and store it in the refrigerator to slow down changes in the solution. However, this is a homemade solution made from organic ingredients and contains no preservatives, so you should use it soon. If the solution develops an unusual smell, excessive bubbling, a slimy texture, or mold, discard it and prepare a fresh batch. Now, we will use the diluted solution to care for and help restore the peace lily. Method 1. First, I will pour a small amount of the diluted solution into a clean glass. Then, use a soft cotton pad. Lightly soak it with the solution, and gently wipe each leaf. Carefully wipe both the upper and lower surfaces of the leaves to remove dust from the surface, helping the leaves become cleaner and appear greener and shinier. You can apply this leaf wiping method approximately once a week to help remove dust and keep the leaf surfaces clean and glossy. However, there is no need to use the organic solution too frequently. Always dilute it at the correct ratio, apply only a very thin layer, and observe how the plant responds. Besides the peace lily, you can also use this leaf wiping method on some large leaf plants such as Phalaenopsis orchids. For Phalaenopsis orchids, lightly soak a soft cotton pad with a small amount of the diluted solution and gently wipe both the upper and lower surfaces of the leaves. When wiping the leaves, in addition to removing dust from the surface, you may also help clean away some mineral deposits and calcium residue left behind by irrigation water over time. When the leaf surface is cleaner, the plant looks greener, shinier, and healthier, while also making it easier for you to observe signs of pests, diseases, or damage on the leaves. Most importantly, do not allow the solution to run into or remain in the leaf axials or the crown, because prolonged moisture in these areas can increase the risk of leaf rot and crown rot. Method 2. Misting the leaves. I will pour the diluted solution into a fine mist spray bottle, then spray a very thin layer onto the upper and lower surfaces of the leaves. When sprayed onto the leaf surface, A small amount of the dissolved compounds in the solution may come into contact with and be absorbed through the epidermis and stomata, although the ability to absorb them depends on the specific substance and plant species. The tea and rice flour solution may provide small amounts of potassium, magnesium, phosphorus, and some dissolved organic compounds. These substances serve as supplements. Potassium is involved in water regulation and stomatal activity, while magnesium is an important component of chlorophyll. Misting also helps remove dust from the leaf surface, making the foliage look cleaner and greener. Besides peace lilies, you can cautiously apply this method to some foliage plants, such as Zamioculcas plant. Simply mist the leaves evenly, allowing the dissolved nutrients to come into contact with the foliage and provide supplemental nutrition to support greener leaves and denser foliage. Keep in mind that foliar spraying is only a supplemental method and cannot completely replace balanced nutrition supplied through the roots. Therefore, with the third method, I will pour the diluted solution into a dedicated watering can. Then, slowly and evenly, water around the base of the peace lily, allowing the solution to gradually soak into the growing medium and reach the roots. Unlike foliar spraying, this method allows the dissolved compounds and small amounts of minerals in the solution to be delivered directly to the root zone. The roots can absorb the water and any nutrients they are able to utilize, then transport them to the plant's upper parts. You only need to water until the growing medium is evenly moist. Do not allow the pot to become waterlogged. Peace lilies like moisture, but if the soil remains excessively wet, the roots can still suffer from oxygen deficiency and root rot. Therefore, always check the soil moisture before watering and only add the solution when the plant actually needs water. Method 4. Reusing the used tea bags. For the tea bags used earlier, don't throw them away just yet. I will open the tea bags and take out the tea leaves inside. Then, spread a very thin layer over the surface of the growing medium. Avoid creating a thick layer or allowing the tea leaves to come into direct contact with the plant crown. Used tea leaves still contain small amounts of organic matter and minerals. As they gradually decompose in the growing medium, they may contribute additional organic matter to the soil and help improve the texture of the growing medium. However, you should only use a small amount because excessive accumulation of moist tea leaves can easily develop mold, attract fungus gnats, and cause the soil surface to remain wet for too long. Results after 1 month. After approximately 1 month of care, my peace lily showed very noticeable changes. The leaves were no longer wilted like before. Instead, they became firm, healthy, and glossy, while many new leaves and shoots began to appear, making the plant fuller and more beautiful. Most importantly, you can see that the plant has begun producing new white flowers. This is a positive sign that the plant has recovered, the root system is functioning well, and the current conditions for light, water, and nutrition are suitable. From a wilted peace lily that seemed destined to be thrown away, we now have a lush, healthy plant with beautiful flowers. As long as you understand what your plant needs and care for it properly, you can help even weak plants recover and grow healthily again. Not only my peace lilies, but my Zamioculcas plant have also shown very positive changes. As you can see, many new shoots have appeared, the foliage has become fuller, and the leaves are green, glossy, and healthy. What do you think about today's plant care method? What type of plant are you currently growing at home? Share it in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Wonder Garden channel so you don't miss more useful plant care tips. Thank you for watching, and see you again in the next video.